of the kids who visit Camp Youngest live in an orphanage. Dan took us to meet his friend, Claudia Gonzalez, who runs the home for boys.
Last night, Eusebio spent the night on the streets of La Paz. Tonight, he'll spend the night here at Hogar Alalai, which is an orphanage started by Claudia Gonzalez. She went out on the streets, she found kids, and she started ministering to them.
No, porque ellos duermen en la calle en cartones, duermen en
It's a
los
slow
árboles,
process because the children that live on the street may sleep in cardboard boxes. Some sleep in the cemetery. Some sleep in the trees so that when they come here, they have to go through a slow process in order to learn responsibility.
Esta es la primera etapa y están un mes y luego pasan luego a otra etapa.
New boys at the orphanage need to break their bad habits, like taking drugs and stealing. Claudia wants to teach them to do the right things, starting with chores. What are you doing?
¿Qué están haciendo?
Pan.
They're making bread.
It's a lot of bread. How
Es
many
mucho.
people? How many people?
Sí. ¿Y para cuántas personas? ¿Cuántas unidades de pan van a hacer? They're going to make about 300 pieces of bread.
Is this their job?
Yeah. There's different groups and they take turns doing this or doing other things.
The name of the orphanage is Hogar Alalai, meaning the house of I am cold. Boys picked the name because living on the streets, they were always saying, I feel cold. Now because of Claudia, they have a place to keep warm. If Eusebio does his chores, he'll be allowed to move into this room. Then he'll have his very own bed. When Eusebio came this morning, he got some new clothes. Now he has 2 sets. Everyone here learns to do their own laundry. How do these kids get on the street? Do they run away or do their parents die or what?
¿Cómo han llegado a estar en la calle? ¿No tienen padres? ¿Qué ha pasado?
Muchos de ellos son huérfanos, no tienen padres.
Some of the children don't know how they got there. They just don't know their parents at all. Others have been abandoned because the parents don't want to take care of them. And then there are still others who have just escaped from home.
What's the biggest problem that you face with these children?
¿Qué es el problema más grande con los niños en la supervisión del hogar?
Uno de los problemas más difíciles que atravesamos es la alimentación, porque tenemos 40 niños que duermen, que viven aquí, pero también trabajamos con 30 en la calle. Entonces les damos alimentación y ese es uno de los problemas más difíciles de conseguir.
The most difficult problem that we have is that we have so many children. We have 30 living here and 30 on the streets, and we want to feed them all. So our biggest problem is being able to come up with the food to keep all these kids fed.
After breakfast, Claudia walks the boys to school. Boys who've been staying at the orphanage know where to go. And Claudia helps the newer ones get settled in for class. Here it's a privilege to get your very own uniform. Today, Claudia gets papers to register Eusebio. Eusebio's taken the first step toward a better life. And Claudia hopes he'll stay at the orphanage and trust Jesus as his Savior, like many of the others have. Claudia's given up a lot to help these boys out, making sure they have a place to go and a chance to hear about God's love for them. Seems like reaching out is what Claudia does best. 2 nights a week, you'll find her walking the streets, looking for kids like Eusebio. She makes friends and lets the homeless know she cares about them.
Was inhaling paint thinner, and because the mother was inhaling paint thinner, then she couldn't produce milk, and the baby got very sick and died. Exactly. That was today. Exactly.
There's only so much one person can do, but Claudia would like to start a home for girls too. Some of these women say yes, they would come. Claudia knows something she can't help but share. All the sadness in the world can't compare to the joy we can have knowing Jesus. And I have a hunch she'll continue to tell everyone. Time for a little excitement. Bet you know where I am. Thank you. This was my favorite Awana club of all that I've gone to, probably because it was my birthday, and I got to hit the piñata, and then they gave me the big cake, and he told me to eat the cherry off the cake with my mouth, and I was like, what? What's a birthday girl to do? Turns out Bolivian kids love to get their face shoved in cake. They'd be disappointed if no one pushed them. So I forgave my new friends. And you know what? They gave me a Bolivian flag to make sure I'd remember them. And Awana missionary Tom Johnson gave me a little lesson in Bolivian history.
But the red signifies, in just few words, the red signifies the blood that was shed to bring liberty to this country, to make it a nation. And then the yellow, of course, signifies all of the minerals that we have in our mountains here. Minerals that have never been extracted makes us one of the richest countries in the world, even though we're very, very poor.
Tom and his wife Evelyn have been missionaries in Bolivia for over 40 years. They first saw an Awana club in the U.S. and figured it would be good stuff for their Spanish-speaking friends. Shirt on that says Awanza instead of Awana?
Well, Awanza means obreros aprobados no son avergonzados, which means the very same thing that Awana means. Approved workmen are not ashamed. And of course, this means something to people in Bolivia because it's their language.